So if you are a gamer, then you probably already know about this, but I want to talk about something that affects physical media collectors and for people who collects movies like myself, then this is something that we're all, unfortunately, all too familiar with. And so if you actually go to Nintendo's website, you go down to their games, you see this thing called game key cards. So what are game key cards? Well, basically you get a physical game, but there's no game in there. You basically get a license to download the game on your machine, and then you'll be able to play the game. But you still need to have the game key card, like a physical game, in your machine. And so this is a pseudo physical game, and honestly, it's literally not a physical game at all. It's just a physical license for you to download a game. And that kind of leads me to this whole thought and idea that we as physical media owners for movies, games, audio, we all know about, and that's basically ownership. So in a lot of cases, this is Nintendo basically giving you the ability, license, to rent their game. You know, you don't really own it, because if the servers went down, or if you are unable to download this, or maybe the game key doesn't work, then your physical game, quote unquote physical game, is absolutely worthless. And Nintendo did send out a survey asking gamers about this, and well, it didn't go the way that Nintendo planned, because a lot of gamers hated this, and they still hate this right now. So what does this have to do with physical media collectors, Blu-ray, 4K, people who enjoy movies and shows? Is something like this gonna happen for us? Well, if you've been around long enough, well, it's already happened. And that has happened with DivX players, DivX. So whenever DVD was first released, there were competing companies, competing formats, competing ways of providing this new digital way to watch movies. And DivX was basically a set of codecs that allowed you to play movies. And what this allowed mostly these publishers or these big movie studios to do was to actually have more control of their IPs, you know, all the properties that they own for movies and shows. And so you basically couldn't watch it without a certified DivX player with the proper codecs. And at the time, you could actually buy a DivX movie, and you could rent a movie for 48 hours. So you would buy a DivX movie for about $5, and then you would have to get a certified DivX player. And then, even though you had the physical movie, you could only play it for a limited amount of time. And so it was even more restrictive than the game key cards. But it's kind of like the whole same idea, where you have physical media, but you don't own the physical media or the contents of it. And the company DivX is still around, surprisingly, and I'll probably make a separate video on that. But it kind of goes back to something that all of us physical media owners have known for many, many years, and that the whole idea of ownership. Even when you have a quote-unquote physical copy, it doesn't mean that you're going to own it like you used to. And at the same time, I kind of feel this whole trend, this whole idea of controlling your movies might be making a comeback. And who knows, we might have more DivX players in the future. I doubt that's going to happen, but you know, stranger things have happened. And if Nintendo and many other companies like them, like Sony, Microsoft, has shown anything, that they really don't want you to own what you have. So if you actually had any thoughts on this, be sure to leave in the comments area below, and I'll see you on another episode.